How do people do this? Let's talk about one of my favorite high fantasy series ever and what order you should read these amazing, incredible, wonderful, life-changing books in. You know what? That's good. That's a good intro. First, you're going to start with the Farseer trilogy. This follows a well-beloved character named Fitz, who is the illegitimate son of a prince training to become a royal assassin. That's really simplifying things, but that's the gist here. If you struggle with Farseer, though, I would put Assassin's Apprentice down and pick up the Lifeship Traders trilogy, which is the second one in the series. This is multi-POV. It's a little bit faster paced, and it happens in an entirely different geographical location than the Farseer trilogy. I personally struggled with Assassin's Apprentice the first time I read it, but my friends encouraged me to pick up Lifeship Traders. It hooked me onto the series, and it's what got me to read the rest of the Realm of the Elderlings. So if you read Assassin's Apprentice and thought it wasn't for you, I highly encourage you to try this out and then make that decision. After you finish Lifeship, either go back and finish the Farseer trilogy, or from there, you're going to pick up the Tawny Man trilogy. This picks back up with Fitz's story. It is many people's favorite trilogy in this entire series. For me, it's a tie between Tawny Man and Lifeship Traders. They're both incredible. And if you're a fan of books that will make you deeply, deeply fall in love with characters, Tawny Man is going to be your fave. From there, you're going to pick up this quartet. This is the Rainwild Chronicles quartet. Originally, I believe it was 2 books, and then they were so large that they split them into 4. A lot of people don't really vibe with these, and some people even say you can skip them. I say do not skip them. There's so much important information and context that you get from these books that matter in the last book of the series. These are a little bit more romance heavy, and I think people who didn't enjoy them as much maybe didn't read them continuously through, or like books 1 and 2 together and 3 and 4 together. But after you finish that quartet, you can dive into the final trilogy of the series, which is the Fitz and the Fool trilogy, and it's incredible. This is Hobbs' magnum opus, and this final book, Assassin's Fate, is probably my favorite book I've ever read in my entire life. The emotional payoff that you get with these characters because you've been with them through 16 books is unlike anything I've ever experienced. The Realm of the Elderlings is my favorite fantasy series of all time. I think if you are a high fantasy lover, you need to read the series. And the last thing I'll say is if you are like me and you didn't quite get Assassin's Apprentice at first, don't be discouraged. Pick up Lifeship Traders. It's okay to read things a little bit out of order as long as it gets you reading this incredible series and loving it. I promise that this is going to become one of your soulmate series.